Again, restate our beautiful motivations. And this motivation is the key. Whatever direction we like to do these practices. If we have the beautiful motivation, every practices, every listen to the teaching, reflect on the teaching, contemplating on the teaching, meditating and practicing on the teaching, it comes perfectly to the practice, Dharma, and a benefit to ourselves and a benefit to all beings. So therefore, motivation is so important, as we all know that. So again, in a way, reactivating beautiful motivation, which is joy and appreciation, bodhicitta and purity understanding, all the Vajra realizations. Those motivation, whatever kind of is strongly maintained in the heart and mind, and then we reflected on the teachings. Again, this teaching is the teaching of His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche or the Japji of Dudjom Rinpoche's teachings, and I'm going to go over this really, this teaching, and which that you all have, I believe, is hobbies. And now here we are talking in the fourth line in this teaching to take the full advantage. To take the full advantage of the life that is so difficult to obtain. And that what that means, take advantages. Because our life is in our hand, our opportunity, particularly if we have the 8 freedoms and 10 endowment or 10 luxuries. Since we have that full, we have that all, everything in our hand. Therefore, is for that reason, here His Holiness Dudjom Rinpoche is reminding that we should take full advantage, take meaning for our lives. And now, in order to take the meaning of our lives, again, as I mentioned 2 days ago, when we started thinking of how many times we are really have time in one day, 24 hours. So, take advantage means practicing. So how much really we are practicing? If we're thinking of the 24 hours, how much we practice with a good heart? How many times we practice? As I mentioned those people who are on the retreat, maybe they're spending 70% or 80%, or maybe 60%, 7%. 7% 50% means how much? 12 hours in a day they practice. That means practicing, whether they're meditating, whether they're reciting, or the sadhana practices. Sadhana practice is more connected with Vajrayana teachings. Meditation is very popular teaching of the Buddhism, all Buddhism. Calm and abiding, or Vipassana meditations. Both are practices. Both are cultivating and strengthening, glorifying our inner qualities of the true natures. So 12 hours means really quite good, lot of time. That means 50% of the time of the 24 hours. But average person, such as like many of us, maybe we've been spending, practicing only 20%. Or maybe 2 hours. I have say kind of hour level, 2 hours, 1.5 hours. So that means we are among the 24 hours, we are practicing only 2 hours, and 22 hours we are not really practicing or doing mundane activities, involved with the mundane activities, including our sleeping or siestas. So that's what really the kind of, we brain come down to the more kind of like practical level and reflecting of time, like how we spend, how we're doing this. Which is wonderful if we practice even 2 hours, 1.5 hours, it's really beautiful, it's wonderful. But there is another skillful means way to transforming every aspect of the time into the practices. That gracious teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni mentioned in teachings that he told to the Prasenjit, the king of Kosalas, or king of the Charvasas. He said, to, O great king, you have so many duties, chores to do, and so many activities to do. But if you keep one thing in your heart, it will turn everything into the practices, into the Dharma. Dharma. And what is that? That is bodhicitta. Or that is, again, if we say bodhicitta, if we simplify the bodhicitta, it's compassion. If you have the compassion in your heart, mind, whatever activity you're performing or we're performing, we're really transforming that into the Dharma. This is a similar statement Buddha made to the great king of the Pesach Charzi in the teachings. It's now modern time is called Koshambi, or ancient time too. He mentioned that too. If you keep this compassion or the body in heart, everything is transforming. Whole activity is transforming into the practice. So now that means if we simplify the compassion, what is known as in the common word, good heart. Simple way, good heart. That good heart is not something outside that we have to get and go a far distance, or we have to be rich to get that, to have got that. We just, it's all our treasures. We have to activate it. When you have the great compassion or good heart in mind, that individual is, if you really think, if we think carefully, that person is more calm, more peaceful, more mindfulness, more down to the earth, more beautiful common sense. Where that all come from? Is from the compassion, from the good heart. Compassion or good heart or the bodhicitta is foundation of the entire Buddha teachings. And compassion and the bodhicitta is also nature of our mind. If we like to get enlightenment, often in the Dzogchen teaching said, we can get enlightenment within these lifetimes. Or Mahamudra teaching. Those teachings say it's true, you can get enlightenment. According to the teaching, you can get enlightenment within this lifetime. But every lack of compassion, every lack of bodhicitta, even if we apply the Dzogchen teachings, we apply the Mahamudra teachings, we won't go that far. According to again teachings. So therefore, if we like to make more powerful, more magnificent, more meaningful, more simplified, and the good heart, the compassion. Bodhicitta is ground. And we have that, we're taking the full advantage of meaning of our these precious lives. Lives and also benefit to the others. Benefit to ourselves. We become more kinder, more gentle, more peaceful. This is not just a Buddha taught and we just can't, because he said and we believe in that. But we can make that again, we can witness ourselves. We need more compassion and kindness. We are more calm and peaceful, more gentle, more satisfied, more happiness. Really all the beautiful situations, all this comes. I'm sorry, this is again. This all comes by the simple things, compassion. So now, with this understand, with the great compassion, with the great loving kindness, if we have the great compassion of bodhicitta, bodhicitta also is a great healing power. In the teachings, it's the most powerful healing tools to heal the emotion scar, physical scar, or troubles, or mental troubles, as well as all this contagious disease. All this really can be purified with good heart in bodhicitta, not just only purify our sickness, but it benefits for others. We have that beautiful love and compassion thought, we filled with beautiful energy, beautiful vitalities. It will fill our beautiful immune systems, really sitting up that our immune systems, refreshing our immune systems. That will defend all unwanted those disease, sicknesses. This compassion is more than 100 times or 1,000 times more powerful than the multiple vitamins. Definitely. Many levels. Many levels. This is our own resources. We have all this. Then that way we take the full advantage of the meaning of our precious lives. Now, with this understanding, again, I talk a little bit about this. Here in the teaching said, with those thoughts, and now, what is this? So now I will move to the pith lines. Resolve to free oneself from the ocean of the samsara of sufferings. And we like to go out of the samsara troubles. Or we like to transform our samsara troubles into the great peaceful happiness, and no more sufferings. It becomes as blissful and comfortable. That is what we have to do. Again, according to the teaching of in the teachings, and such as Sharvakayana and Partay Bodhayana things, samsara is full of difficulties, troubles, a lot of sufferings. Is it true? Samsara is result of the cause of suffering. Samsara is suffering true. Samsara is the cause of suffering true. That is how combination samsara came. Therefore, a lot of troubles. But according to the point of the Vedas, Mahayana, whether it's Sutra Mahayana, or the Vedayana Mahayana, or causal Mahayana, result Mahayana, if you have the skill and the techniques, samsara is not bad or suffering. Samsara is learning ground. And samsara is the exercise stadium of the bodhicitta, so that we can stand and develop powerful tool of compassion and loving kindness. And then, if we have that great compassion and loving kindness, bodhicitta, then samsara is not samsara that always makes difficulty troubles. Samsara becomes as pure life. For that reason, great Master Shantideva said in the teachings, if you have the great bodhicitta, the by meritories of the accumulated meritory well made, our physical will be strong. And our wisdom merit will be very strong and comfortable of the mind. Therefore, physical is comfortable and strong by the accumulated merit. Wisdom merit will make our mind is strong and comfortable. Then even you're staying for a long time in the samsara to benefit of all others, why that individual is bored and tied by samsaras? Samsara is the place where you learn, grow, and develop. Read life story of all the great bodhisattvas and Buddha Shakyamunis. Because they're going through the samsara, learned and developed all the 6 paramatas one after another, reached enlightenment. Then they become known as warrior, the great warrior who defeated all the troubles and suffering and the difficulties of samsara, and one become the leader to benefit for all living beings, or the great chariot that bring everyone to the enlightenment in beautiful blessed lands. That is what the gracious teacher Buddha and all the bodhisattvas. So therefore, then doesn't matter. With either way, we have to change our buttons. Whether we like to completely give up the samsara as Sharvaka or the Pati Buddha, or we like to transform the samsara into as great nirvana or enlightenment status. That we have to do. If we can live just as it is not going to do any benefit to us, according to Buddha's teaching. So therefore, what in the teaching said, the practicing lineages, open talk, reflecting the 4 renunciation thoughts. I listed yesterday, and of course you all know the 4 renunciation thoughts. I will list it again. First is precious human body. Reflecting on our own, this very precious body, or precious lives. Second is reflecting mind over the impermanent. And the third is reflecting of the cause and effect as inevitable. That means the karma is inevitable. And fourth is samsara has a lot of difficulties, challenges, full of challenges or difficulties. Those have to reflect. What it does in the teaching said, if you reflect those strongly and beautifully as it is, it will make ourselves more stronger, more practical, more common sense, less negative emotions such as ego clinging, self-importance, more kind and gentle, softer ourselves to our own self and to the others. Truly we become a more gentle person, gentle individual, peaceful. Then same time, we will value our precious times, value our precious lives. Everything we will like. And we become more mindfulness, more thoughtful, and more consciousness, or more alertness. All those beautiful truths will shine naturally from our mind or from our heart to guide and help us, or guide and help to all others according to our capabilities. So therefore, this 4 renunciation thought, or point that will change the mind. What that means, change the mind? Change the mind of the attitude of samsaras. Change the mind of the attitude of these beautiful lives, the precious body, precious lives. Change the mind of the attitude of the notion of the permanent. And change the notion of the kind of very sloppy, irregularity, careless person, not thinking anything except our own self, kind of right now, thinking of. Not thinking of the past, not thinking of the future, and then kind of acting randomly, kind of as a blindfold activities. Those all will change by reflecting of this poor training of mind or poor inner cycle thought, whatever we call. And this is also essence of teachings of the, as I said yesterday, teaching of the greatest teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, first two noble truths. And suffering truth, cause of suffering truths. We can understand it clearly this. First is the precious lives. In his own Dudjom which said what? Difficult to obtain. What that means? This, what we are actually. We are all human beings. According to the greatest teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, is of course Buddha's teaching. We think only kind of this human world is this most important, and that's it. There's nothing more further than that. Or maybe we think, oh, there's the animals. So animals and as human beings, we can't only think that. That is our knowledge. Our knowledge is limited. We don't see past. We don't see the future. We don't see even present times, except where we're looking or where we're focusing. Everything is kind of blurred and kind of like vague in the presumption status. In the Buddha's teaching, in the Buddhism, Buddha's teaching, actually there is 6 realms. These 6 realms is all are known as samsaras. They all within the samsara. Samsara is a Sanskrit word which translated into Tibet by ancient those great translators in the 8th centuries. Khorwa means spinning or rotating. That means also what in Buddhism, in great teacher Buddha named to all the sentient beings are the goers. G-O-E-R, I think, goers, or the movers. We are always moving. We are always on the go. We are always always going with the U-hauls, carrying the U-hauls, dragging the U-hauls behind and going all the time, one after another. That's what we are, always. We never settle, actually. It's going. And that's really is goals. Where are we going? And that goal is, according to Buddha's teaching, is spanning. We go, we think we know where we're going, but reality, we're just going. We know only short distance destination. And then other than, we don't really know. But still we're going and going. Where are we going? We are going in these 6 realms. How that we are going? According to the greatest teacher Buddha Shakyamuni, we are going by the force of our own deeds, which is known as karma. Karma is like fuel that is spinning us without any choice. We are moving. Who is created the karma? Nobody overloaded the karma from outside someone. Karma is one's own creations. And unknowingly we created karmas. Unknowingly knowing the situation of the consequence, we created karmas. We are moving with the U-haul of the karmas. Maybe sometimes a bigger U-haul, sometimes a small U-haul, but it is a U-haul. And it depends how the engine of our vehicle is stronger. Sometimes even big U-haul we can drag quite easily. Sometimes our engine and motor, those cylinders are not so strong, and then we are really dragging and breaking the cars and U-haul on the highway, and the police are coming, and those controllers are coming. You all know.
We went through those things. So that's the karma. That's just a small example of how larger things are happening in our own universe, in a perception universe, world of samsara. So that's really how that happens. So now we're moving six hands. So now in that way, like now we are among the six realms, we are in a human world. Human world. The human world, if you are born in a human world, why we are a human world? According to the great teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni, because we born here with our karma. Karma. It's not somebody pushed us or somebody dropped us or somebody brought us. Our own karma. We really born in a human world. Oh. And because when we born in human world, in the teaching said, what that is karma, what kind of karma that is. According to the teaching is good karma. Good karma. So that means we did something in the past, we did something good karma. Of to be born, to cause to be born in a human world is good karma. So that means that since we born in a human world, naturally we have four freedoms. Naturally. It comes with automatically four freedoms. Those are known as I'm not born in hell realms because of my good karma. I'm not born this time, for example, this time. I'm not born in a hungry ghost realm because of my good karmas. And I'm not born in animal realms because of my good karmas. I'm not born in the long life God's realms because of my good karmas. And now those first three are known as three lower realms. Lower realms. And they are lower than human realms. And God's long life God realms, many times in the teaching mentioned is in God's realms. But many great masters often say it's not that is just a kind of like interpretations, but it is where those individual who has that karma, they can be anywhere. Anywhere they can take the birth and become that status of the long life. God. What is long life God? In the teaching said, if you born in that realm or that as long life God, they don't have too much senses. Completely kind of dorby in the kind of sleeping status. Everything is kind of like senseless, kind of like there. And there is no alertness, no active clarities. So you just kind of like stay in that for a long time. It's wasted time. There's nothing. So therefore, we should be grateful, happy of our past deed that I'm not born in hell realms. I'm not born in hungry ghost realms. I'm not born in animal realms. I'm not born in a long life God's realms. If we have not good karma, those are our destination. These who are born in those three lower realms or long life God realms, it's not that they designated kind of like they to be born. Because of the consequence of their karmas, they took that birth. In these lower realms, those places, what the troubles they have? Trouble of the areas. Place, the hell realm place, or the land of a hell realm is disasters, as I say. The physical condition of the hell realm is a disaster, ugly, and very, very frightening. And the suffering, the experience what they're going is a disaster and bad, enormous. And the duration of that, according to the teaching, is like eons sometimes. Really, so long. There in the hell realms, in the teaching said what? They are the sensitive, so sensitive. For example, more sensitive than our skins. But torment and what they're going through in their experience of the vision is so strong. And the fires and all those things are 7 or more times more powerful, more harder than our regular fires. And this is just, and then young girls the same thing. Animal the same thing. So therefore, our good karma, something we did past good, that we can be proud, according to Buddhism, we can be proud. I did something really good in past. Now I'm beautiful human beings. As human beings. Then above that, and in being a human below, there's 4 again human that we can feel freedom or happy with that we don't have those. That, when, of course, you all know that in the teaching that you read is not something I'm talking about. And what in the teaching said. And our attitude is not completely heretical or kind of wrong believers. We have beliefs, which is freedoms. If we don't have any beliefs, even we born in human world, we will not improve anything. Even though we have the very beautiful, fortunate things, we born in this human world, we don't have any belief. We were not going to do motivate anything. But we're not just that, we're believers. We believe. We think believing on the past, in the present, and the futures. That is, according to Buddhism, that is one of the very, again, freedom. We are not occupied of the non-freedom regimen thought. We are kind of open-minded, freedom state. And then we are not born as kind of like barbaric places. Kind of everything is just like they don't really have any kind of like good sense of what is really helping to that, or others kind of they only believe what they think is the best, and do that without any kind of like thought of any others. We are not. We are more thoughtful, more kind of thinking. And then our old senses are good. Even though we born as human beings, even we have belief, even we are not kind of like just only thinking of our own beliefs and all that thing, but we have all, if we don't have this, our senses, that then even we can't communicate, we can't understand. So, we have the really good senses. Everything, our senses are perfect. How lucky, how fortunate we are. We did good things in the past. And the next one is, the last one is, then is according to the teaching of the Buddhism, Buddha's teaching, sometimes the era or there's kind of time will come, there's no Buddha came, no teaching available at all. Sometimes that happens. So in that time or era, if we born as perfect, beautiful human beings, even 7 freedom, if we don't have that at freedom, then we can really understand the teaching or have communication or the teaching well completely. So there is still, Buddha came in the world, still his teachings exist. So therefore, all this way, we have to feel happy. Reflecting our life is so precious, beautiful. Therefore, I should feel happy and have the determination and courage, use this for the good purpose. Something beautiful purposes. And then in the teaching it said to be born as human born is so difficult as examples. That, I mean, I'm not going to talk that now, maybe tomorrow I will talk. But York and the blended total in the big oceans, those 3 examples. The big ocean, such as the Atlantic Ocean, there is the blind total. And this is just an example, it's not something that realistic that information. And on the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean, there is the floating York. That is the wind is the kind of carrying from the east to west, west to north, north to south, kind of always is just carrying waves, or the wind is carrying them through the waves. That blended total is coming out of the ocean surface in 100 years at one time. And this yolk has whole, right? Yolk. And Y-O-L-K or Y-O-R-K.
Y-K-K-E.
Oh, sorry. Y-O-K-E. Yolk has whole. So now this ocean is so big. Just so big. There is one yolk. Yolk is floating up in the dawn and south and the east and north. And there is blind total coming out of that ocean 100 years on the surface, kind of like pick up that. And when coming up that total, coming up that ocean yolk, inside the ocean yolk, of whole of the yolk can be, the neck of the total can be entered. That is quite kind of to comparing that how precious, how rare human birth is. That is even more common than obtain the birth of human or higher ranks. You understand the example? I hope you understand. I mean, you read this in a book. This is just everywhere. What that actually means. That tells that ocean is the metaphor of the three lower realms. How big that is. Three lower realms are so big. Hell realm, hungry ghost realm, animal realms. Yolk is so small. That is the metaphor of the higher realms or the human realms. And it's moving back and forth. That yolk is everywhere. That is common. So entering that, how difficult that? But that even to obtain human birth is more difficult than entering the neck of the turtle in the blind neck of the turtle in the hole of the yolks. That's what really teaching said. I mean, you read. I just mentioned in my English and all that things, but you read. Okay, thank you very much, everyone, again, and I'm so grateful and happy to speak a little bit teaching of the Buddha and a reminder to each of us and this beautiful opportunity of this situation brought us. So really we dedicated this merit at the end, I mean, for every level, to every beings, to everyone. Okay, thank you very much again. And so now we do again about a 20-minute meditation, about a 20-minute silent meditation. Again, always, I said, really good motivation. And the devotion, those are all important. In meditating and the practice, realization is not just going to come according to teaching, not by intellectual, kind of skeptical and hesitation thought. It only comes by the understanding of the devotion and the connection and the good motivation. If we have that, then realization really will come. So those are the teachings. That means the progress of our realization will develop by those motivations. They will open the door and bring our inner realization.